Every passing second, that is in every minute, that is in every day, is a chance and an opportunity for us to free our mind and to control our life, to turn everything around. We give meanings to the expressions of our life, or sometimes we allow other people to give meanings to the expressions and experiences of our life, the life we're living. You see, what you believe will dictate your thoughts and your life on a moment by moment basis. And that emotion, energy in motion, can dictate everything. Your mind, your thoughts, your actions, which produce your results. And your results, when you look at them one day, reinforce the belief you once had. That which we tend to pay attention to sometimes is not aligned with what we believe. Sometimes we get lost, distracted, broken, and confused. And that causes us to not find happiness, wealth, deeper relationships in life, more joy, more fun. And if you want to achieve your full potential, you got to free your dome, free your mind. Freedom. You got to get clear on what that could look like for you. And you got to make sure that what you believe is consistent with your outcome, because if what you believe is not consistent with your outcome, then you don't have clarity. As we're getting clear on something in the world right now, we're beginning to see things unfold rapidly. And we're beginning to see clearly that this matrix in reality is shifting. The great paradigm shift. And if you're willing to invest time in your thought process and your actions around building yourself and getting a free mind, taking control back of your life, then you build neuroplasticity, the ability to rewrite your own programming. And then you're able to create your own world. You're able to remember and get out of this amnesic state of the lost fact that you are a god and goddess. See, your brain is full of imaginations, creativity, and you gotta unlock it. We are the most powerful quantum machines on this planet. And it's time we start making our life meaningless again. Meaningful again, sorry. See, growth, development, it takes time, hard work, dedication. Success is not just given away. The moment you come under the right use of your mind, your power, then your thoughts will free you from any worry, any separation, any doubt that you have in this world. It's a privilege every single day of your life to realize you are the I am that I am, and I have it all. I'm already rich. I already realize I create happiness. I have my destiny right here, right now. Living in the now, the present moment. Therefore, I'm receiving presents. It's Christmas every day. Can I get a hello? See, when you walk in that awareness, even before it manifests, even before you can see it, then you can achieve it, because you already have before. It's about tapping into that higher frequency, that higher vibration, and unlocking your true power, your higher self. So you gotta manifest before you can receive it. You gotta believe it before you can even manifest it to receive it. All of life is for you, pioneers. You gotta find a story and make a story that's gonna empower you and empower others around you. You gotta be the example and lead by example. The more complex you make your life, the more likely you're gonna execute. So you gotta go through the struggle, the grit, the grind, the trials and tribulations. If you're creative enough, you can find the answer. Yes, you can. If you're determined enough, you can succeed. Yes, you can. If you're passionate enough and loving enough, you can help others. But if you're not committed, you'll never be able to do anything you ever want to achieve in this life. And you're not going to do it by just going to your job, your just over broke job, working 40 hours a week and then going home kicking off your shoes like your work's done. You are so much more than that. We ain't got time to chill. Your resources are already in your mind. Your greatest asset that you could ever accumulate in life. Use it. Don't let it fade away. Don't let it go to waste. It's all about becoming your true self, your true authentic self. It's all about not coming here to play the game, but coming here to change it. Because what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality one day. And what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. And what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity. And I've always just wanted mine to be guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others. So that's why I'm out here trying to raise the frequency and raise the vibrations in this matrix day in and day out. Because I'll never know when I'll have my last day. So much love, everyone, out to wherever you are. Kick back, relax, get ready for this episode. As we were just talking about freedom, because I have had a few people reach out to me and thank me for enlightening them and helping them achieve a free mind, a free dome. And it's all about a free dome, freeing your mind. Being your true self. The dome is the firmament, you guys. They tell us this in Genesis, the same as your skull, your crown, your chakra, your seventh chakra. The skull is the firmament that they teach us about. And that needs to activate right now, your crown chakra, here in this matrix reality right now. But it takes going to your heart space and working in a brain-heart coherency space. That skull and staying stuck in there in that mind is a birdcage for your spirit. But you can't just live there. The only key that sets that bird free is going from your mind back to your heart in a brain-heart coherency space and getting out of that left logic hemisphere of the brain and that lack mindset. And at that moment you're able to do these things, you achieve freedom. And that's why we tend to see sometimes some dove symbology in the elite, the occult. Because they're symbolizing the free mind. And I hope I'm helping you all achieve a free mind. And what I'm hopefully doing more than anything is speaking your language. And our languages, if they're the same, they're ancient, you guys. Predate what we've been taught, this indoctrination, this English language. This is a language we're speaking as a language of resonation on frequency and vibration, of understanding, upperstanding, so we can understand. It's gnosis, knowledge and wisdom, knowledge of spiritual and ancient mysteries. And it's unlocking that realization that we are gods and goddesses built in the image of the Elohim. Genesis 1:26 tells us this, just like it talks to us about the firmament, our free mind, that heaven space symbolizing the seventh chakra. But we were just sold and indoctrinated into this idea that our mind had a price tag, that it was hard to reach. And anything that has a price tag isn't going to be free. But you have a free mind, you just got to go within. And there's a difference between paying for something and purchasing something and spending something and investing something. Invest in yourself, your mind, your greatest asset. When you make an investment in something, it has an infinite return on your investment, an ROI. It has an infinite ROI. Your ROI, your greater self, your purpose. They made this mind have a cost. And now here we are in this matrix reality, in this false realization that they keep us indoctrinated in, enslaved in. And when you have the slightest change of perspective on life, you can open up so much truth. Like when you go back to the mythologies, like Mercury and Hermes, and even deeper than that, Thoth is thought. This is all your thought, your wisdom, your justice. It's what creates all of your currency, your money. It's what creates your Merkaba, your life force, your energy. Everything that we teach about, your energy, you are currency. You are fucking gold. Diamonds, pioneers, that have been through the pressure over years. Now forage and be a diamond. Thoth being the translator, the voice between the immortals and the gods. You just got to look at the depth of what this really is, this reality we live in. It's literally telling us that our thoughts, our currency, is the bridge between us, the immortal, and divinity. The Elohim, the gods. And the language that exists there is infinite. It has no limitations, no barriers. The only limitations and barriers you have in your life, you set them yourself. This is a universal language we're speaking here, and it's called action. Take action. Know your purpose. When you do that, you're speaking universal language, ancient universal language, knowledge, gnosis, and wisdom. And when you apply utility to your knowledge, your gnosis, and your wisdom, you therefore elect it to evolving into your higher self. And I'm just grateful to be here for your journey. Each and every one of you pioneers, absolutely. You know? So again, sending you all just much love, high vibrations as we kick off just another very special episode of the Daily Candle Close News, because the universe doesn't speak in our English language, you guys. It speaks in frequency, vibration, and resonance. And it's important we recognize that. It speaks in energy. And, you know, football just kicked off, and I saw so many people at work today running around screaming and losing their energy, their Merkaba, to sports and any and everything outside of their self. They're not even the ones on the field playing. So understand the knowledge, gnosis, and wisdom we're teaching here about how truly powerful you are, and how these apex predators and elites need your energy, and how they have to harvest your energy to survive. And if we just stop paying our energy and our Merkaba, our life force to them, and stop playing this game and decide to change it, then we can change the world. Our voices here on the Daily Candle Close News. But it's not going to be easy, because people won't notice the late nights, the early mornings, the all-nighters, the blood, sweat, and tears, the self-doubt, the risk you take, the failures you had along the way, the mistakes you made, the stumbles, and the obstacles that you overcame. In the end, they'll only see your results and call you lucky. And I don't expect it for them people to understand. You know, a meaningful life is not about being rich. Rich is realizing I create happiness. It's a fucking acronym. True wealth is health. True wealth is a higher self, realizing your purpose. See, it's not about your employment status, your values, your equity in life, what you own, the clothes you wear, how much money you make. And it's definitely not about being perfect. None of us are perfect. A meaningful life is about being real, being your true authentic self, being you, being humble, and staying strong. And most importantly, it's about being able to share your truths without a worry in the world of what anybody else thinks of you, while just trying to impact and touch the lives of others. That's being a real pioneer. So vibrate on that frequency and that level. That's my enlightenment and my message here. It always has been, to raise the frequency and raise the vibration and teach you that you're all gods and goddesses with amnesia. So let's go ahead and kick off this episode of Daily Candle Close News, market psychology, technical analysis, and just the minutia monotony that we get into here on the Daily Candle Close News. I'm sure we're going to talk about a lot of these other esoteric things that are always just so very important and symbolic to things that we talk about. So just welcome to another day in the Matrix. Kick back, relax, light up your favorite strand, take your favorite DMT, whatever drug, eat your favorite snack, get your favorite drink, coffee, alcoholic beverage, whatever. Take a quick drink of water, excuse me. You know, we're approaching the end of this 7-year sabbatical cycle, and I'm truly excited to be here documenting this journey with you all. You know, as we've looked back into the past and seen all these events unfold throughout history, and here we are in the final moments of the Shemitah, you know. And just a quick little introduction before we move on. If any of you haven't been here before and this is your first episode, welcome, much love. You know, we give the gut check, the red pill here, the knowledge gnosis, the clear pill. And it's hard, you know, it's tough love. And we do things in a broad, esoteric metric, using numerology, gematria, astrology, ancient astrological teachings from an ancient prehistoric world. Facts, figures, numbers, logic, and common sense when viewing these markets, when viewing news, when viewing life, etc. This way we can do things in a way that I don't believe hardly anyone else is really doing out there in the world. So, for instance, you can kick back, relax, enjoy this. If it's not for you and it doesn't resonate with inside you on a high frequency and vibration, then, you know, give it some time and come back and see if you just needed some time to grow. Or maybe it just wasn't for you. That's fine. We're not looking for trolls. You can always say what you mean, but never say it mean. That's our method to the madness here. But, you know, I give tough love. It's what I needed in life to become enlightened and involved in my higher self. So, we're just a couple weeks shy of the end of the 7-year sabbatical cycle, something we spoke about and taught about for over a year. And, you know, this is going to be a very important thing. You know, this date numerology coming up on 9/26, a day that adds up to 77 in date numerology. Something we pay attention to is the numbers. Our whole existence was derived off of math, etc. So it's so very important. Math, frequencies, vibration, irrefutable, undeniable things. So in the 7-year sabbatical cycle on 9/11 right now, this very historic day, 15 days away from this time period being 2 weeks and 1 day. In the 7-year sabbatical cycle, this day ends on 77. You know, it's impossible to time this or to code this. You know, I believe it's done by a higher source than man. You know, the architect, creator, God, the demiurge, the tetragrammaton, the Yohe-Vahe, whatever you believe, you know. We're not here to frown upon none of that. We're just here to teach you all that it's all designed always around you. You and I believe these numbers are following us for a reason, and here for a reason for us to be able to decode and share these master numbers, these angel numbers like this 111, a day that leaves 111 days left in the year. I believe these things are showing up as a sign. There are no good or bad numbers. It's our relationship to the numbers, how we perceive things that give them it's right or wrong, left or right, it's black or white, it's good or bad. It's how we perceive them. It's our relationship with numbers. It's us as the magician, the alchemist, the one who is the architect of our life, our world and universe. We need to have the numbers make our creation, the meaning to us. We need to find the meaning to us. But remember to always remember the meanings that they teach us behind the significance of each number as well. The mythologies connected to some of these numbers. So, that's something I just wanted to kick this episode off with. Just going slow and just slowly going into some of the teachings that we teach here. I feel like sometimes I speak as if people understand where I'm at. And, that's something I'm trying to work on, is just slowing down. I know the last couple of episodes we've been kicking things off, talking about the Queen and the new era we're heading into, the new events coming up because of the 7-year sabbatical cycle we are in. And that's so important that we pay attention to. And I just want to say I'm so grateful and appreciated for anyone that's still sticking around through the minutiae and monotony and the repetitive things that we talk about. And I appreciate every single one of you pioneers, because I know that if you pay attention, this is going to bring abundance to your life. And if you're doing the work, taking notes, it's going to be able to give you time to just take time to enjoy life. Be more intimate with your family and friends and loved ones, etc. With yourself, And I believe these are things that other people aren't discussing on their channel. And I believe there are a lot of people out there seeking this type of higher vibration and consciousness in the world with the age that we're heading into, whether you think that's the Great Awakening or the Age of Aquarius or whatever. Just know it's you evolving, and it's a beautiful thing for us to be alive right now in the greatest time in human history. And for us to be together in this expansion as a community, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I love every one of you. And I'm really excited for the final moments of this year and the Shemitah coming up. So let's get into some of the dates and share where my mindset is at. The mad scientist behind the scenes. I want to talk about some of the reactions we've seen in the crypto market. And you'll see recently this big green candle. Before we get into some of the dates on the daily time frame, this big green candle that we saw on September 9th, we know tying us into using numerology, an ancient code that gives us the numerological value of a name, text, word, or phrase. This day on 9/9, September 9, was highly tying us into the year we are in, Jupiter. Jupiter being the 24 zodiac logo, but the year of the tiger, or the tiger stripe planet, tying us into the Chinese New Year, the year of the tiger, more specifically the water tiger. So very important that on this day, 9/9, we get a 1.6% increase, or 10.60% increase, which in numerology would drop to zeros and it would be 16. And that's so very important because this 9/9 day 10.60% increase is tying us into Jupiter. You guys, when we type that out, Jupiter gives us the 99. So very important. We're in the 36th week of the year. Today and tomorrow is transitioning us into the 37th week of the year. Something very, very important. So 9/12 really being the start of the 37th week of the year. So seeing this energy on 9/9, September 9th, not surprising. All tying us into Zeus, Thor, Jupiter, who overthrew Kronos, Saturn, the imminent overlord of this realm we live in. So one thing to bring up again is this candle was 10.6% up, 10.60% up. So this is highly tying us into Jupiter. Okay, so the Jupiter connections to this would highly tie us into the other gods and mythologies that we talk about. Shiva, which is not always resembled as the goddess of destruction, etc. She can also be symbolized as the creativity that comes after annihilation, the end, Armageddon. The end of the world is also hiding a new era hidden in disguise. So remember that Shiva, who does the cosmic dance of destruction, is something we've talked about this year, the year of Jupiter, highly tying us into this because Jupiter is the year of the tiger. Tiger gives us 59 in numerology, and so does Shiva, this mythological, ancient Hinduism goddess, god, the mirror of Shakti, the demiurge, the creator destroyer. Okay, so giving us this 16, also tying us into, the big Russia thing we've seen on the world stage as well. Russia giving us this 16. Russia's been in war all year during this very historic 7-year sabbatical year, and it's not surprising. Russia gives us that 16, tying us into Shiva, destruction, war. Okay, and ultimately, again, that tied us into the tiger, giving us that 59, that 15. So very important we make and bring back up these connections. It's all tying us back into the tiger. This year we saw the Tigers play the Rams in the Super Bowl. Ultimately, the tiger lost, again tying us back into Shiva, the destruction, the tiger being a bad luck symbol. Ultimately, all year, really, we've seen this. The Cincinnati Bengals lost 20-23, tying us into 2-2-3 skull and bones to the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, so not surprising. They lost their last game of the season, the Super Bowl last year. They lost their first game to the Steelers, the Steel Curtain defense today, 20-23, the same score as the Super Bowl last year, 2-3. So again, this tiger symbol all year being kind of like a bad luck symbol, tying us into 59, Shiva, the goddess of destruction. Okay, so very, very important, undeniable things that we can't deny. The end of the Shemitah is coming up, where they blow the shofar, the ram's horn, Rosh Hashanah. It shows us this, the shofar, the ram's one. This is where they blow the shofar at the end of the Shemitah, at the start of Rosh Hashanah, etc. That is at the end of this month, approaching in 15 days. So again, today, 9/11, we have this connection here of being 15 days from the end of this. Okay, and I've gone down this rabbit hole plenty of times, and I don't want to reiterate things, but again, if you're new, we talk about a lot of these things for over a year. I even do like a decode a couple of times of the Shemitah and the Jubilee year that we're heading into. So very important. So if we look at the 9th of September, the date numerology, 99 Jupiter, a bigger connection to it all is it's tying us into, again, Zeus. Zeus gives us this 17 and 71 connection. Not surprising, it was a 17-day connection to the end of Rosh Hashanah. Very powerful. It was getting ready to head into the 37th week of the year. So not surprising that we see this energy in the market come in for Bitcoin, okay, on a day that leaves 17 days left, 2 weeks, 3 days. We know Bitcoin ties us into that 23. While we saw the activity heading out of the 36th week of the year, Jupiter gave us 36, and Bitcoin giving us that 23. So just really not surprising, okay? just irrefutable as to why this recent pump came in on a day that we recently prepared you for in advance in one of our past videos. Something I like to do, not predictions. I don't want to be known for predictions, you guys, even though I put it in your face for a reason that we would see the Queen die this year. I'm just very able to tap into the matrix and the cosmos and download this DNA and see things for what it is before we see that. And I want you to pick up these breadcrumbs so you can find a loaf of bread. That's really where it's at. It's coming together with these mythological connections, these ancient, esoteric, numerological connections behind the mythologies, behind Bitcoin, behind the news that we see in this matrix realm, this simulacrum. And I want you to do it in a form that resonates with you so you can do your best decoding. Again, don't take my truths for your truths, find your own truths, but I do back my truths up with things that are irrefutable, undeniable, common sense, and just amazing mathematical constants like pi, the periodic table of elements, things that we know to be actual, factual, and true. So every time we see these events like the Super Bowl, the Olympics, these things are all there. Even recently with the Queen dying, you see me break that down, and I'll speak about that just a little bit more tonight, but it'll be the last time I give any energy to it. But whether it's the music energy, entertainment, Hollywood, etc., it's all breadcrumbs that we can pay attention to. A lot of these are enlightened individuals that have realized the truth of this realm and are true sorcerers, a lot of them born of a bloodline, etc., that share with us the mythologies in plain sight, these ancient teachings in plain sight, and it's just amazing to see. So that's why I center my work the way it is. So, not surprising, but again, this day gave us the 24 numerology, Bitcoin, or Jupiter's logos, the 2 and the 4, so we just see this. It's all here. This 113, 311, it's a very esoteric number tying us into the Babylonian Talmud, the Baba Kamal, used by the Talmudic Jews. So, very important. Alright. One thing to also note is I started this video off with mind and you and freeing your dome and teaching you that you are gold. We know that September in Latin, septum it really means 7. We know the Gregorian calendar is a lie. Okay, so this really isn't 9-9 that we saw this energy come in. The reason we saw this energy come in the markets on this day is because it was really 7-9 in the occultic true calendar. And I hate to use that word true, but the calendar that the occult use, it is 7-9, okay, September 9th, the 7th month. So 7-9, we saw this energy come into Bitcoin on the daily time frame, and it's tying us into the 79th element, gold, you guys. Again, you are gold. So this is why Bitcoin moved up on 7-9 or 9-9. Tying us into gold and the mythological Jupiter, again, in so many ways, like we just broke this down. So very important we continue to pay attention to the teachings and education that we're teaching here at the Daily Candle Close News Pioneer Academy and University. Truly making my own free university for people to join from any beliefs, all religions, whatever, So very important. Let's continue to get deeper into this. Let's see where we want to go next. Let me read over my notes real quick, you guys. So when we're in the final month of the Shemitah now, at least everyone in this community should be aware, this is when we start to get the most wild, chaotic events. Not just in the markets, but like the Queen dying and war and just a ton of things that you wouldn't have never thought you'd see until you do. And we have all these things adding up, and if you've been paying attention and taking notes during these videos for a year now, you've been pretty aware we've been due for some kind of event. And now that the Queen's off the board, you can expect even more to start to pan out. And when it comes to cryptocurrency and technical analysis and money and what we talk about here, what we base our channel on, it was kind of time for us to get some relief. Being in this descending wedge, falling wedge, we know that 68% chance to break out. We finally got, one more back test before getting this trend reversal, trapping the bears. And I'll get into this in a moment, because we're kind of still in the date section of this moment, and I want to be going over some more thorough DA later. But I wanted to share with you all that some of these things that we've been sharing are perfectly still continuing to play out in a very bullish pattern. I know we've shared some lower ranges because anything can happen in the matrix, but I still want you to know that this overreaction to the sell-off around the Queen's death has been a perfect setup for building a position at that 18,700 low, that 187 penal code for murder, something we shared about right here around the Queen's death. Getting us right back above this 21,500 and just showing support. It's showing a bullish sign. But this is nothing new for Bitcoin. Bitcoin does this all the time and then can show an immediate rejection. Again, 9/11 is today, and we know how important that date is. Anything can happen. So we just need to look at some recent moves where we've seen this, this pump up with an immediate rejection. This pump up with an immediate rejection. We do this pretty much regularly, especially on this lower 2-hour time frame. So until we can continue to show us breaking back above this recent high of 21.8, basically getting into that 22,000 range, we're not bullish. We want to see a higher high, okay? And we want to make sure that we continue to set higher lows in time as well. So over here we saw a slightly higher high than this previous high that was higher than this previous high, only to get a rejection. We know it was manipulated by the Fed, but it's exactly how it played out. And because we've been getting this yin-yang symbolism, this as above, so below, this 69, this 96 number around the Queen, her death, Bitcoin 69K top, is showing me we're going to continue to see this possible yin-yang action in our TA, because I'm able to look at this without an emotional perspective. I'm just seeing it for what it is, and it's amazing. So if you haven't watched some of my work lately, please go watch it. Some of my best work to date, for sure. So just still keeping an eye on this $22,300 range to reach, potential rejection zone. But again, tying us back into Skull and Bones, Brotherhood of Death, Order 322. So very important. So another day that we're gonna look to talk about is 9/13. We know the Fed's recent CPI ratings are gonna come out, and who knows? It's gonna be for the month of August. We don't know what it's gonna look like, but it's probably gonna show inflation has not slowed down, and that they're still battling to take care of the inflation that's hurting the everyday person that they said over a year ago wouldn't even exist and wouldn't be here. But this being a 13-day time period, we know how symbolic that is. So the 13 bloodlines, Bitcoin's in its 13-year anniversary. This date numerology adds up to 19. We know how powerful that 19 number is. It shut down the world for a couple of years. This very symbolic 256 number, that's my previous area code where I grew up. So that's symbolic to me. I just like that number. But it's again a 1 week, 6 day time period. So again, giving us that 16, tying us into Sheba, the goddess of destruction, etc. This 13 number it can be perceived in a pretty negative way a lot of times by people. I guess it's, also got a lot to do with the 13th tarot card in the tarot deck. It is the death card, the transmutation state of the physical body, this rental body, and the birth of the spiritual state. So basically also the transmutation and what I would consider my beliefs as a ascension card. But a lot of times it shows the Grim Reaper or the Angel of Death. So this 13 number can be perceived as a negative thing. So let's pay attention to 9/13 being 13 days away from the start of Rosh Hashanah and the end of the Shemitah. Very important time period. Just another date that we want to pay attention to for potential volatility in the markets. Not considering up, down, not predicting. We'll see what happens. So again, we know the 16 tying us into Jupiter, because again, one way you can perceive numbers is just having fun with them. It's what they mean to you. But we know the sixth planet from the sun is Saturn, but it's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. Mercury is the hottest planet close to the sun. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Jupiter is the first planet before the sixth planet, the planet before the sixth planet, Saturn. So it is one planet before. So one way we can look at that 16 as tying it back into Jupiter. I just thought of that right off the top of my head, right there in the middle of that decode, So I just believe if we have fun with the numbers and start applying it to the things that we're interested in life, you can start seeing some pretty amazing connections. And if you're interested in the way that we break these down with the TA and the Gematria, with the news and the technical analysis, my course is very thorough, and I have over 100 videos easily over the past couple years, and it's all documented. Just go back, learn. My course is being built in the background for a better viewing view, with a Discord coming in the future. And I know I keep saying that sometimes, but I'm really working in a format in a way that is going to have utility for you to view your life, the world in a different way. So it's going to be very amazing, I think, and big things coming for the Daily Candle Close News. I really do believe that. So if we want to know the deeper meaning of why things happen, it's always going to be around numerology, Gematria, astrology, symbolism, etc. And paying attention to things that everyone else is going to overlook. But remember, everything popular and what 99% of people do is usually wrong, and best for you to want to do the opposite. So the next day is going to be the 16th, Saturday, the day of Saturn, okay, in the Shemitah year, the sabbatical year. It has everything to do with the harvest, and we know Kronos, Saturn, Odin, Father Time, the timekeeper, the god of the harvest. So this is going to be a very important time period for us to pay attention to. Really, why is because the date numerology adds up to 22. It gives us that 106, the 16 we've been talking about in this video, being a 1 week, 3 day time period. So kind of interested in how this is going to happen because it's a Friday. So institutional weekly close for the Dow Jones, the indices, etc., heading into the 17th, which leaves 9 days left. 9 is the number of completion. 0 is the womb. It gives birth to all numbers. 9 equals completion, everything. So very important here. Being a 1 week, 2 day time period, being the mirror of 21, the 21 weekend in Saturn. So always tying us into Saturn. So very important. 105 when 105 days left in the year. Drop to 0, you get the 15. Tying us into the Tiger again, tying us into Jupiter, the Tiger Stripe planet, in the year of the Tiger in the Chinese zodiac year. So the 17th, 18th, and 19th is going to be something very, very important to pay attention to, and we'll break them down a little bit deeper in just a moment. But remember, the 12th, tomorrow, is the start of the 37th week of the year. As we get ready to head into next month, where Bitcoin turns 14 years old, I see this as a very important time period as well. We get this 18 in date numerology in the Shemitah year. Shemitah equals 18. Okay, so very important. Heading out of the 36th week of the year, today and tomorrow heading into the 37th, today added up to, or tomorrow adds up to 30 or 63, the mirror of 36, as we enter the 37th week. So very esoteric. But this 14 days is 2 sevens in the 7-year sabbatical cycle. This is tied to the end of the Shemitah and the start of Rosh Hashanah again, a day that adds up to 7/7. So very important. So boom. This 15, it could be important because we've been talking about the 15 and the Tiger. So every month right now in the year of Jupiter, we've paid attention to it, the 15th. That's just something I'm sharing. This 11 days symbolizes reset, restart, Genesis 1:1, or the New Year's, January 1st, the god of Giannis. Okay, go and do your research on the Greek god Giannis. When you type out Giannis, it gives you 11 in numerology. We're in the Shemitah year. Shemitah gives us 70, Giannis gives us 16. So you see how I'm getting this here? This 15 could be very important. 107 days left. This 17, tying us back into Zeus. 17, Jupiter, Thor. So very important, very important. Boom. Coming out of the 14th, a day that is 108, is a number that symbolizes spiritual completion, something that can be added some spiritual knowledge to your decoding ability. It stands for Harshad, the queen. When you type out her name, I shared in one of my previous decode, Queen Elizabeth II, it gave you 108, the spiritual number of completion, and we just saw her pass away. This number is known as the number of a joy giver. That's what she was represented as. So very important. Some of the Buddhist temples have 108 steps, symbolizing, this spiritual completion. The Chinese Buddhist temple rings the bell at the end of the year to symbol in a new cycle, a cycle. Everything's about a circle, a cycle coming back full circle to symbolize the 108 temptations that a human goes through in life. So very important that we pay attention to this spiritual completion number. And some of these dates, September again is known as National Preparedness Month. Why not break it down the best I can to prepare my pioneers for some of the most important time periods, especially in this so important year? Okay, pretty much the next 60 days of our lives is where the market is going to tell us what is up for the long term, for the next 6 to 7 years possibly, you guys. Pause and think about what I said, rewind and listen to it again. The next 2 months of our lives could be the setup to perpetuate the rest of our lives, or the next 6 to 7 years. If you do not believe me, go back and study 100 years of indices chart data, the Dow Jones, the 500, S&P 500, the NASDAQ, etc. You don't need me. Look at the charts and have fun. And that's another reason why today I'm going to share some quick thoughts on possibly even gold and silver. If I don't get too drained out before the end of this video, it's probably going to be a 2-hour video, you guys. Who knows? But dates that I actually continue to personally consider important off of my metrics that I've been sharing with you so far, okay? I've just been trying to share with you the rhyme and reason, the mad scientist behind the scenes, and why things have been happening at a certain time based around the mythologies and the deeper decodes behind the numbers. Just trying to teach you guys, be that professor, Coach A. So September 17th again is going to be 9 days left in the Shemitah year. This number 9 symbolizes completion. We are about to complete the Shemitah year. We are about to complete a 50-year Jubilee cycle and start another one. So I just shared with you about the 9-9 date. It's all tying us into, again, the 9, Jupiter. And I gave you the numbers why. So why this matters is because this 9 is connecting to the date numerology. This is going to be a 23 date numerology, and 23 is the 9th prime number in math, you guys. And this 23, we told you, also shows up in Bitcoin, the artificial sun, which was created by Saturn, the sun, the artificial sun that was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, an acronym and pseudonym for Saturn, okay? The timekeeper, Chronos. So this 23 also ties us into Mercury, okay? And this is a lot because Mercury ties us into this so-called scam, fiat monetary system that we are tied to. This 2-3 tying us into, we can perceive it as the 2-3s. Mercury is known as the god of commerce. It is also known as Hermes or Thoth. We talked about this. But this debt and credit, fake slavery, fractional reserve banking, scam, money system we are in, it's all about Mercury, Hermes, also known as the trickster of thievery. So all this funny money is Mercury, you guys, okay? And we know there's further depth to Mercury. It's the god of wisdom, the voice between the immortals and the gods. It's what runs, Mercury is what runs the scam medical system. Hermes holds the Caduceus that you see as the medical symbol, etc. But dealing with the fiat money system, all money is debt. Every dollar you hold is another man or woman's debt. Remember that. And we're potentially moving into the debt jubilee, the history, biblical debt jubilee. And I've shared this with you all. And that's where Mercury comes in. And we're in, right now, Mercury stationed in Mercury in retrograde. And I've shared with you all that this does tend to act, pretty bullish for us. This Mercury station in retrograde. I have a whole chart dedicated to this, and I've shared it with you all recently. But I just gotta find it. And it's this one right here. Yes, this one. Let's remove the full moons. We know in September they tend to bring a shift in energy. The full moons can be bullish, while the new moons can be bearish. So we'll continue to see how that plays out after the start of Rosh Hashanah, the 25th, when our next new moon comes in. But we'll remove these moon patterns so you can see this, and we'll zoom out on a daily time frame, and you can see that, boom, this Mercury station in retrograde time period is just continuing to hold true, like we recently said, until we got to 2022. Until we got there, it was a bullish sign, all the way back to the C-word crash. This one right here was a little bit off too, but we know that was manipulated. But we've had more of a bearish type market, and these boxes right here are just continuing to show an upside. But what we noticed is as we get past this and we finish one off, we get a correction, but we get a recovery to a new top, okay? Same thing right here. Bullish pump, a correction, held support, and a new top. Okay, same one right back here. Had a little bit of a correction, another bounce, and then a lead to continuation. Right here as well. Boom, Mercury in retrograde is part of the conversation without a doubt. Boom, a little bit of a droppy drop, correction, and a new top. So with this to move up, it's not weird astrologically wise. Again, astrology matters. To the day we started to see this pump, on 9/9 when Mercury in retrograde started, irrefutable. We moved up 10%. It's just very noticeable to see this time and time again, going back a year now, with the history that we shared, documented, seeing the momentum indicators, the volume come in. It's really amazing and beautiful to watch this play out into fruition and be able to prepare my pioneers about these charts so they can copy them and share them on their charts and follow them as well, So we'll see if we continue this possible continuation of bullishness past Rosh Hashanah date around the 25th, 26th. That would be a mimic of the 1973 to 1975 recession. And that wouldn't be surprising if we hit this, higher range, even go up high to 37K like we've talked about, or 38 right after the Shemitah in the 38th week of the year. Shemitah equals 38. The 38888 angel number symbolizes love. It's right here past this previous drop liquidity range where we got rejected and failed to hold support. If we were to see that pump past the Shemitah even into October, towards the eclipses around the end of October 25th and the November 7th, 11/7 eclipses, I wouldn't even be surprised to see this momentum continue and then bring us correction down lower, So anything can happen in these markets, but we got to be able to view the past data, like 1973 where I saw this and now I'm adding this possibility in now. So one last thing. I think we already talked about this. Boom. Talked about that. The 18th. I think this has everything to do with the Queen's funeral. We'll pay attention to that. This is the Ouroboros, the life, death, rebirth ritual. The snake eating its tail. This again, 1/1 symbolizing a restart. This is her funeral where they ritualize her body and lay it to rest. Queen Elizabeth equaled 69. She died at 96. Not surprising, as above, so below. So why they pick this date as the funeral? We're in the Shemitah year. It is the 18th. So this is very esoteric as to why we could see potential volatility around this date. They're gonna talk about this date with the XRP lawsuit and the Ethereum merge around this time period, etc. Nonsense. Don't pay attention to any of that. It has everything to do with the more occultic, Kabbalistic code that we're teaching here. So really, I think this is the perfect time to be sharing this, and I don't want to hold it back. I want to be sharing these connections ahead of time in advance. Big dates for me. So this 1/9, this last one, 7 days before the end of the Shemitah cycle, which is the 7-year sabbatical cycle. It's all about the sevens. A day that adds up to 70. The Queen just had her 70th year jubilee. Coronavirus equaled 70. This is the 19th. The whole world changed because the 19th. We remember 9/11. That was another 19th sequence. This is a palindrome where you can read it the same way forward to backwards. That's another thing to consider in the 222 year. So I'm very interested in this date. So if you couldn't figure it out, 7 days before the end of the 7-year sabbatical cycle adds up to 70. This date adds up to 77, adds up to 70 right here. Where this is so mind-blowing is it's gonna be 103 days left until the end of the year, tying us back into Mercury, commerce, the god of finance, etc. But then right here, this date numerology that adds up to 25, 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, so very important. This date numerology adds up to 34. 3 plus 4 is 7. You can't make this up, you guys. So on the 7 days before the end of the Shemitah, both on Mondays as well, the day of the moon controls our energy, the emotions, the tides in the oceans, the women's menstrual cycle. You're made up 70% of water, and you don't think the moon controls you? So this is approaching the next new moon. That will be the 25th, the day before, the transition date into this day. So another massive connection here. So 103 is the 27th prime number. We can perceive that 27 as the 2 sevens, the 77. So this is all just the story of astrology and importance right here behind numerology, gematria, and the code that we teach here. You know, these numbers are all connected because this reality we all call reality runs on math. You guys, like we've shared, the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio of pi, the mathematical constants. So we have the 70 and the 25 this day. Shemitah gives us 70 and 25. And we just saw the Queen's Platinum Jubilee all in the year of the Shemitah. What an interesting year for our favorite lizard to pass away, you know. Nobody needed to work too hard to predict any of this. That's why I was able to do it ahead of time, you know. It was all colored, her Platinum Jubilee, like I stated, purple, this purple theme for symbolizing your crown chakra. I've talked about this. Corona, look it up in Latin. The corona in Latin, the American English term is crown, but in Latin, crown means corona. And we saw a coronavirus targeting the minds of the masses. It's the crown. The virus of the crown chakra is what we saw. Again, COVID stands for creating our vision in detail. This has been the time for our ascension to begin, just like hers. So, the people whose crown was never placed on their head by themselves, who realized they were the Messiah, they got parasited and put that mask on and lost their throat chakra. Okay? But that wasn't us here on the Pioneers. We noticed life was changing dramatically. We started unlocking truth within at a rapid pace, realigning our moral compass. This is what I consider ascension, unlocking the Kundalini serpent. Okay? But the apex predator does their best to try and infiltrate your mindset, your crown chakra, your corona, and by doing so, the people that allow this, they get perfectly programmed and become non-player characters. But we don't have this easily brainwashable complex. We have this antivirus software that has been built into us. So when moments like this come, we practice mudras and we siphon the energy into us. All energy needs to go somewhere. All currency, all Merkaba needs to go somewhere. So make sure it goes within you, not without you. Don't get excited because of a football game on the TV today at the start of the NFL season and you're not even on the fucking field. These sorcerers are practicing and harvesting your magic. Okay? Or the Queen's death. They're harvesting your magic. This is just the way it is. Black magic is also spoken about in every ancient text. It's no different. It's just all written in a code. You've got to decipher it with discernment. But people try to make it about a return of a savior instead of realizing they are the savior. You become your savior because of moments like the C word and 9/11, and that's why I'm out here sharing my thoughts and my truths. You know, I'm out here trying to really uplift the frequency and vibration to enlighten you. Enlightenment is a process. You know, when was the moment you finally realized you woke up? You know? Hopefully I've been able to do that with some of you here and wake you up. You know, shouldn't you be grateful for these moments that we have right now in life that snap us up and realign our moral compass and keep us out of hell, our root chakra, where we can vibrate in heaven, the crown chakra, where the light shines through, with our third eye open? You know, this is a very important clear pill, you guys. And when I decided to swallow that clear pill, and not the red pill, the blue pill, the duality, you know, my life changed dramatically. And that's why I'm so positive and calm during this chaotic year. Because I knew if there was any year we needed to do that, I knew it was this year, where we were going to see energy extrapolated from people at an alarming rate. And I'm trying to gather some of that energy and then shed it and share it with you all. And I just got to be in a state of presence where I can receive presence, where I can live in the now moment, where I can take these moments where I see opportunity and share them with people. So I hope you resonate with that and this sparks something within you to, hit the like button, share it, get it out there with people and that vibrate on this same high consciousness and vibration. So, very important. Let's continue talking about what we were talking about and just kick this video off. 19th of September is happening on the first day of the 38th week of the year. We know Shemitah equals 38. We go over this. So, very important. And if we type out this Shemitah in another way, it doesn't just give us the 38. We can also type it out in its, more Hebrew known code, not the American term and slang that I use here, more common known that we type out. But when we type it out, Shemitah, we get that 83-38 connection as well. Okay, this 28 being the most powerful number, a perfect number. It's the 7th triangular number, and the 28 in a 7-year sabbatical cycle. It's the sum of 56. So very important. But anyways, it's 43. It's a very important number. The 14th prime number. We're heading into next month. The 14-year anniversary of Bitcoin on Halloween, which is also known to the occult as Samhain. So we know Bitcoin tends to hit, and do pretty good around the 3rd, 4th week of October, 2nd to 3rd week, the 4th week of October. So very important, this 14-year anniversary coming up, exiting out of the Shemitah. So very important, right after our next eclipse in October, our partial lunar eclipse. And I'm paying more important connections on Bitcoin to the November 11/7 eclipse, this 117 eclipse. So, this is all a scam, just pre-coded in, and they do what they can to infiltrate this code as needed as an energy harvesting experiment, like I've stated. So when it comes to entertainment and the news and these elites and they're just having fun with you guys, like stealing your love, your energy, your gratitude and abundance. And it just takes a higher vibration being to see what's going on. Toto, the fucking dog, revealed the curtain in The Wizard of Oz for us all to see truth. That's kind of like the fool card in tarot. We just gotta become the dog again, the fool again, the child again. And I hope you're enjoying all these connections this week. Like I said, for those that are new here, I'd love for you all to tap into this side of yourself that we teach here, your higher self. Even if you're not interested in our work, ask questions about it if you don't understand. Do the research when you hear something that doesn't resonate with you. Don't just allow it to give you this negative connotation of conspiracy or whatever. Ask questions inside of the comments, etc. Or just do your own due diligence and research. This code is ancient and been used since before our language was fucking created. So use it around your truths, not mine. Don't let them be yours. So irrefutable, you guys. Let's start to get ready to look into some of the Bitcoin technical analysis that we've seen to want to be, more important about and reminding our pioneers about. Currently sitting at 21.6. We see today is Sunday. We have a weekly close, and it closed at 21.8, you guys. That is absolutely phenomenal. And something I've been hoping for is to see a close above 21.5 on a weekly time frame, showing just like a bullish engulfing of the past 2 weekly candles. So just setting us up for another potential push to this top side of what we could consider a neckline of a very bullish W pattern breakout that could literally take us up to around this 32,200, this skull and bones range. that we know we got our last rejection from, going back to, the June time period, just like our recent June lows of last year. Very symbolic how that played out, right? It's no doubt this is running on an algorithmic code. So very important. Looking at this on the daily time frame, it's 9/9. What day was that? It's Friday. So pre-baked in by the institutional traders and leverage traders and the sophisticated traders of the stock market, and the apex predator, the uncommon 1%, and the composite man. This Friday was the first Friday we saw bullish activity, going back multiple Fridays in a row that we've shared recently. So showing me, retail not really able to move this market, just keep it sideways this weekend. We tend to sometimes see the weekend sell off, because of retail panic selling, etc. over the weekend. So not much to say here right now on the daily time frame, until we see what happens tomorrow when the stock market opens back up. CME opening just a few hours ago, pretty bullish, keeping us above this 21.5 as a weekly close. So very, very bullish. So I'd like to go back to looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Pull up this simple. Is this a simple 55? Let's change our settings and make sure. Alright, let's get the 8 in here on the simple. Change this to the 55. And we'll leave that 200 simple moving average where it's at. Boom. So we know the 8's going to be our red. The black's going to be our 55. And on the daily time frame, this 200, it's sitting right there at around that psychological $30,000 range. 30,100. So to be exact. Not surprising. On the daily time frame, we can see, like I was saying, on a weekly, if we were to see that very macro W pattern breakout because of this low and a higher low in structure, and a break of this neckline with a potential 27K, 28K bullish back test of the neckline, we could see this 30K, this 32 to that 33K. We know how important that 33 number is, the transmutation number. So very important. I definitely love to see this 8 just arching up in a sloping upwards momentum, while this 55 is just hanging out, cruising sideways. Price action has finally got back towards that 55 on the daily time frame. The stock RSI is showing a little kind of getting ready for a correction on the daily, but the RSI shows a little bit more room for the upside as well. So we'll have to see. We like to run these two indicators together. I haven't recently talked about the stochastic RSI, relative strength index. We do bring up the RSI a lot, but we'll start bringing up the stock as well more. Bullish histograms starting to form. The signal lines are about to get back above this 0. It can get faked out, but that's going to be bullish for us on the daily time frame if we see this. So I'd like to see closes above the 55. I'd like to see this 8 cross above this 55 to see continuation up to new levels. And the next big side would be that 25K. And look at this, 25K, 25,223. So $25,223. So 223. So we could get a double top. Would be a very kind of like bearish M pattern. So we'll have to pay attention to that as well, sending us down to lower levels. So I'm trying to be very transparent when I share my opinions in TA. This is, nobody else out there saying they're transparent about, not being fully 100% sure with their technical analysis. Again, nobody knows. Anybody out there telling you they've hit the top and hit the bottoms and etc. is wrong. Now we do very well with numerology, gematria, and astrology, but we have never really hit all the tops and hit all the bottoms. We're just pretty lucky with how we pay attention to the craft and skill that we've put over probably now close to 18,000 hours into over the last few years. So a lot of people may think I speak egotistical or self-centered, but I just take pride in who I am. And, you know, that's it. I speak stern and affirmative, and I'm consistent on a daily basis. So, we were talking about simple moving averages. All right. So very important. Bowling averages, boom. Bollinger Bands. Sorry. I mean, just we must understand. Boom. It's gonna show us continuation if we can get above this. But if not, we can retest, like I said, that 20,000 psychological range or that 1993. We know how important that range is. Is, you know, also this very symbolic 19,666, that 20,000 psychological range. So very important. Don't want to see us get back down to that 18.6. That'd be pretty bearish, you guys. That'd show us a retest of wick lows or a low. You know, want to see this low hold. You know, very scripted event around this, the Queen's death. It shows me that this is a very, very possible bear trap. So very important. All right. So we know the market is a currency system, and we know the elite know humans are just a big part of a battery, and they mine us for our gold. Remember, we talked about gold. They mine us for our fiat, and our gold, and our silver, and our money. Again, Mercury is the god of commerce, known as Hermes, the god of trickster and trickery, thievery. I want you to get mad at what I'm saying, but remember, what is a chart, you guys? A chart is what a technician looks at. They look at the internal forces of the market and what it's doing, and they understand that it is a discounting mechanism. The market is the sum total of all the knowledge and ignorance combined within the market. So don't be part of the ignorance in the market. Be part of the knowledge, gnosis, and wisdom. Trust your craft enough to admire it, and build it, and study it, and perfect it, and breathe it, so you can own it one day. Never stop getting better. And do whatever you do it with 100%, pioneers. You know, and that separates you from the ignorance. And how do I take advantage of this? How do I make my life better? How do I keep one foot in the matrix and one foot out and do what coach is saying? Well, you just practice. You take notes. You do the work. You build your craft, your skill, you know? And I admit, it's not going to be easy, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to get tongue-tied and stumbled, and, you know, but just keep creating. Just keep working. Just keep doing. And you'll get better over time. So again, want to see continuation past this, the 55, but we want to see, you know, that 22,300 get broke. That's the biggest, most important range that we broke down on a few other time frames, like this smaller 2-hour time frame, 22.3. It's just such a key level where we can tend to see a rejection. You know, these are accumulation levels under it and de-risking levels above it. So remember what I'm saying. So very important. Bollinger Bands on the 2-hour time frame. We could be closing above the top side. Continuation could be very important. Nice crossing all those. 855. 8's above the 55, above the 200. So very bullish right here. On the 2-hour time frame for the 855 200 simple exponential moving average. Talked about this 200 simple on a daily. No, we didn't. Not on this chart. 21.9 right there at around 22K. That could be where we're heading up to. We don't like to see us below this 200 on the daily time frame. So this could be a pretty bullish, if you were able to take advantage of the Queen Death lows, a bullish 17% up to this, tying us into Zeus, you guys, undeniable. That could be a potential rejection range right here at 22K in the 2022 year before we get to this 223 on the daily. So very important before we get another swipe down to, let's say, this 34 exponential moving average. That's 21,111. Very symbolic. We're in this Saturn year, Shemitah year. It's all about Saturn. Saturn equals 21. Or that 21 exponential moving average at 20,800. So, retest of previous support right there at 28. So, previous range we couldn't break around that 20,800. So, very important range of a possible retest before continuation up. So, now moving on. We talked about our W breakouts. Nice. We don't need to talk about that no more. Alright, you guys. Alright. Trying to see what else we need to talk about. Make sure I got all my notes in order. It's been a pretty good video. We talked about the weekly time frame. Shemitah, again, just seeing how we can pay attention to this previous weekly close today. That's the most important thing. We'll pay attention to tomorrow. We know the significance behind the dates coming up. That's really been the biggest thing in this episode, sharing the next important dates for potential volatility. Tomorrow, we know, was very important day, starting the 37th week of the year. That's the jackpot number, symbolizing the 3 sevens, 777. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. 21 ties us into Saturn. Tomorrow is the 12th, as above, so below. So we know that's a very important time period again. So boom. Alright, you guys. Not much has changed about XRP and Ethereum and a few other altcoins, besides the fact that they're doing well also. Looking at Chainlink on the daily time frame, we're currently right there at around, we're right there at around that $111 exponential moving average. That's pretty bullish, you guys. If we can get a bullish breakout above that and back test and hold of this range with this 8 and this 21, this 34 crossing the 55 and the 89, I mean, all of these then crossing this could show us a push up to around $10.23, which would symbolize 1, 2, 3. Easy as that, easy as pie. ABC. I'm just saying, where that 200 exponential movement average is on the daily time frame for Chainlink. Not a bad de-risking opportunity if you bought like we did back here around these $5.50 lows. We weren't able to catch the low of $5.27, but that 55 is a number we use here because it's a Fibonacci number. It's highly tied to Bitcoin and Father Time, God, Saturn, Satan. All these things that we teach here when you type out the number 55. So we were able to catch this low and, basically, double your money profit range. That's possible. This 223 exponential moving average is at $10.80. We're in the year of the Shemitah, 18. So very important. We're coming at the 36th week of the year today and tomorrow. The 36 symbolizes the 3 sixes. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So, and this 223 or 322 exponential was at $12.08, right below our 236, where we failed to hold. When pulling that from our previous high to our low, but let's see where we're at right now on the daily time frame, now that we do have a full actual deeper lower low. Yeah, that 236 is still, up there at around $16. That would be a full $11 increase. I don't see that happening right this moment, you guys. Not unless Bitcoin was to really break back above 40K. That could really put some liquidity into some of these altcoins. So Chainlink, Polkadot, daily time frame, looking at our movement averages, same thing. We're just battling to get back above that 55. We lose support on the daily time frame of this 34 because this 21 can't cross that 34, this 8 can't cross that 34. We could be seeing this 727 or a $7 Polkadot again. But if this is a bullish back test of the 34, which we tend to see, then that's a great thing. That could give us the momentum to get above this 55 exponential moving average up to 818. A palindrome for 8118 or 1881. Something very important. The 18 number. Ultimately, then trying to get us back above the 89, the 111. So this $8-9 range, 940, 950. This could be a red hot zone. Our previous top showing us a possible M pattern, another rejection lower towards the end of the year. Who knows? But been accumulating in Polkadot heavily. We know this. But next de-risking opportunity is going to be around this $11.90. That 119. Today is 9/11 when we're making this video. So very important. $12.60, $14. That'd be a great double your profit opportunity at these $6-7 lows. Not financial advice. So another one, Ethereum. It's just continuing to try and get back to this 236, and we get above that, same thing. 200 at 20,000 or $2,000. I'm sorry, previous high where we told you prepare for 2K Ethereum. We were trying to see if we could hit that, that symbolic 2,200, $2,230, 223. We'll see if we get up to this 223, this 322 exponential movement average at that 222, $2,228 in the 2022 year. We'll see. Right now we're above the 111 exponential movement average on the daily time frame, holding 2 daily closes above it and support. Yesterday was the first hold above it. We'll see what happens on the 12th tomorrow. But starting to get a full open alligator mouth if we can get these above the 89 and the 111. Definitely could see some upside, you guys. If not, we're going to see Ethereum pull all the way back down to around this horizontal trading range of, we'll extend this out to around this $1,200 range, this $1,250. Not surprising. That could even bring us all the way back to retest in time if we extend this out as well, and it goes even, if we extend this descending trend line that we were, I keep deleting it. If we were to extend this out as well, we could see Ethereum fall possibly all the way back down to that 1100. This, to retest this over time around Rosh Hashanah or a little bit later, who knows, but around this 10, ride this down back down to this $800 range before getting a bounce back up if we fail to hold this support of a horizontal trading range. So this 236 is our top. This is a red hot zone, you guys, and it's pretty much thin air always in between these levels. So very important. XRP, same thing. Not a lot going on, you guys. Recently, we've been pretty excited. Just being able to see this continue on the 2-hour time frame, really breaking it down in a way to, really just make it simple. And paying attention to some key horizontal trading ranges that we've been trying to teach lately. But let's view this on the daily time frame again and see what's going on. On the 9th, we talked about this day being a very special day. It did well. It pumped up past the 55 exponential movement average. This 8 is above the 21 and the 34. This 13, this black, has yet to get above the yellow, the 21. We need that to happen, and then these three to get above the 34, these to get above this 55, and we could still see that 36 cent XRP as we get ready to head out the 36th week of the year. Anything can happen overnight. We can move up easily while everyone's asleep. What's that? 3%, who knows? Taking us close to this 89 cent range, 37 cents, 89 exponential moving average, 37 cents in the 37 week of the year starting tomorrow. Ultimately, our goal is to see if we can't hit this 47 cent range, 15th prime number. Very important. We talked about that 15 tonight. It's 223 at 49, 7-year sabbatical cycle, square root of 7, 51, XRP equals 15, Tiger 15. We've talked about this, the mirror of 51 and 15, plus as high as this possible 57 cent range. So just some possible upsides. If not, we're definitely looking at this 22 cent, and I got it at 223 skull and bones, you guys, as a potential accumulation range if this 32 cent does not hold. I mean, it's thin air between there, you guys, going way back in time. I mean, it could possibly hold at that 24. X is, if I'm not mistaken, the 24th letter in the alphabet, so you can't make it up. So with all that being said, you guys, we're going to sign out of this one. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth technical analysis video about cryptocurrencies and everything. The things that we've talked about. Just trying to always shed more light on some things. Before we end this, there was one more, little thing I wanted to talk about the Queen. I brought this up yesterday. When you typed her name out, she died on September 8th, and it gave us 322. That day to her next birthday was 32 weeks, 2 days. Irrefutable that the Brotherhood of Death has everything to do with this. They always thought that she would die in Buckingham Palace, but she ended up dying in Balmoral Castle, which has a longitude and latitude of 322, again tying us into the skull and bones. She died at 96, which is the mirror of 69. Queen Elizabeth II gave us 96. Queen Elizabeth gave us 69. And we talked about the firmament and free in your dome, and the Freemasons know the secret of this. At the top of the Freemasonic Royal Arc, they show you the Cancer symbol of the 6 and the 9, and it has everything to do with free in your dome. We shared that she died a span from the last blood moon of 3 years and 33 weeks, and we know that's highly tied to, again, the 333. That 333 is highly tied to the Royal Arc of Freemasonry when you type that out. So something we were just talking about. So with all that being said, you guys, take care, God bless, and vibrate higher. Negativity only vibrates and affects those that vibrate on the same frequency level as it. So vibrate higher, homeboy and homegirl. Love you, pioneers. Pioneers rise. Build your fortress and build your legacy.